All right, so how many times have you heard this? Mommy, can I have a pet? Kids love animals, but caring for them can often be tricky if you aren't familiar with their needs, especially when it comes to owning an exotic pet. So, before you head out to the pet store and buy that lizard, snake, or turtle, you'll want to listen to some helpful pointers from our next guests. Joining us via satellite are Nigel Marven, renowned zoologist and TV personality, and herpetologist Hilary Dupont. So share with our viewers what they need to do before considering purchasing an exotic pet.
Well, exotic pets, they really are great, but you've got to do your research before you get them. This is a bearded dragon. They need to be kept at about 85 to 90 degrees. They need live insects, so you've got to get a supply of crickets and locusts. You need to dust those with vitamin powder. And the other thing that they need, an ultraviolet light. That mimics sunshine, so they can get strong bones and everything and get vitamin D, just like we develop when we go in the sun.
So, you know, of course, my 7-year-old son is begging us for a pet of any kind. He loves dogs and lizards. Hilary, what breed lizard would you recommend?
Well, I would recommend the leopard gecko and also the bearded dragon that Nigel was holding earlier. They're two excellent first-time pets. The leopard gecko can get a little wiggly sometimes, but the bearded dragons, many children you see walking around the reptile shows, they have them on their shoulder. They're just great pets overall, and once you get a nice setup, they're easy to maintain.
Well, as most parents can attest to, when we buy a pet for our children, a lot of times we're the ones who end up taking care of them. So what's the easiest type of reptile to maintain?
Blue-tongued skinks. They feed on cat food and grapes, so you don't actually have to get live insects and have them running around your house. Snakes are easy as well, as long as you can get a supply of frozen mice or rats, and you only need to feed them once a week, but I suppose many mums at home wouldn't like frozen rats or mice in their freezer.
I know the question a lot of parents out there have, how does the cost of caring for a reptile compare with those of more common pets like a dog or a cat?
Well, the initial cost when you're getting a reptile enclosure, it seems a little pricey, but once you have your UV lighting, your vitamins, your decorations and everything, basically the only thing you really need to maintain them is to feed them weekly if they need fresh vegetables or crickets, and to change out their substrate, and that's all reasonably priced, so you're not putting big cost into a reptile.
You know, Nigel, I've been hearing several reports that people are really actually pulling reptiles from the wild at alarming rates. As responsible consumers, what should we do to be sure that we are conserving these exotic species and preventing their extinction?
Well, reptile pets, you should never pick up a tortoise, pick up a lizard in the wild. I mean, just buy them from a reputable dealer, captive bred animals. These bearded dragons, they've bred hundreds of generations in captivity. They don't have parasites. They're used to being kept in enclosures. But to pull one from the wild, you get a frightened animal, and they really are not ideal. And of course, there's not enough left in nature. We've destroyed the habitats.
Nigel, where should our viewers go for more information and reputable online references?
ReptilesTV.com, that's a great source of information. Hilary's a star on that, so you can learn about keeping animals in captivity. I'm on it every now and then as well, so it can't be that bad. And it's get a lot of DVDs and good things there to learn about keeping reptiles. And the key to it is to get the enclosures set up, the right heating, the right foods, before you ever get the animal. And then once that's all set up, they make lovely, wonderful, beautiful pets. Thank you.
Nigel, Hilary, thanks so much for being with us today and sharing that great information.